We are now live. Welcome to the virtual college exploration. We will start in a minute or two. If the students would look at the screen, I would like them to understand how to ask questions. We encourage questions, but please type them in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen, and the presenters will certainly answer them. Your camera and microphone are off for this webinar. Panelists can't see you or hear you, but they know you're out there. So be sure and give them your questions. After tonight, I hope you'll sign up for more sessions. And there are sessions from individual colleges, but also things like what is a liberal arts school? Or what does it mean to be a nurse? And finally, this will be recorded and can be found at PACAC.org. And it is for any student to view any of the recordings of the colleges that have participated in the Keystone Exploration. Now, with that introduction, I'll turn it over to Nicolette from Marywood University, who will begin the presentation. Thanks, Nicolette.
Oh, thanks, Jane. Hi, everyone. My name is Nicolette Bordeaux. I'm an undergraduate admissions counselor here at Marywood University. I'm going to introduce a few other admissions counselors that we have today, as well as some students that attend Marywood. So let me just let me get to the slide for you guys. One second. My name is Nicolette. Like I said, I oversee Lackawanna County in Pennsylvania for the counties of Pennsylvania. And I'm gonna turn over to Eddie and Maddie for their counties that they oversee as well.
Hi, everybody. My name is Eddie Perry, and if you are from Monroe, Pike, or Wayne County, that's part of my recruiting territory. So I would assist students from those counties as well.
Hi everyone, my name is Madison Harm. I'm an undergraduate admissions counselor, and if you are from Bradford, Lycoming, Montour, Sullivan, Susquehanna, Tioga, or Wyoming counties in Pennsylvania, I will be your admissions counselor.
All right, and then I just want to introduce some other admissions counselors that we do have on staff that oversee other counties, not in Pennsylvania as well, that are not with us today, but Maria Temple, she assists students from Lehigh and Northampton counties. Sarah Polinchak assists students from Berks, Bucks, Carbon, Chester, Delaware, Lancaster, Montgomery, Philadelphia, and Schuylkill counties. And then we also have Jim McAndrew, and he oversees Central and Western PA counties, Luzerne, Delphine, Lebanon, and York counties. So this is our admissions staff. If you have any questions for a specific admissions counselor, these are your go-to people. So next, I actually want to introduce two Marywood students with us today, and that is Lexi and Marcy, and they're going to introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, I'm Lexi. I am a senior. I am studying computer science and information security. I am involved in a couple different areas around our campus. I'm actually the current student government president. I am actually the vice president of one of the local sororities that we do have on campus, Alpha Sigma Psi. I have several different work study jobs as well. So I work at the admissions office as an ambassador, and I'm also a tutor in the tutoring center here at Marywood too.
Hi, my name is Marcy. I am a grad student. I'm in the 5th year of my 5-year program, and I am in communication sciences and disorders. And a few of the things that I've done on campus is work for the activities council. I was also part of Alpha Sigma Psi, and I also previously worked at the Marywood bookstore.
All right, thank you guys. A little bit later, we'll be able to chat with the students. They're going to give their experiences here at Marywood as well as we go along the presentation. So I just wanted to start off to talk a little bit about Marywood. Marywood's located in Scranton, Pennsylvania. We have around 2,000 undergrad students and around 1,000 grad students. Our class size is around 20 to 25 in your major, 30 to 35 in like general studies, depending on the program. We have a student to faculty ratio of around 12 to 1. Our first year retention rate is around 86%, as well as our 6-year graduation rate being around 65.5%, which is consistently higher than the national average. And 99.7% of the class of 2019 is employed or pursuing graduate studies, which is great to hear that they're continuing their education or they're employed in the specific major and I should say degree that they achieved. Marywood's considered a day one school, so we really do try to put you in your major right away freshman year, trying to give you some sort of hands-on experience, whether it's observation or taking your core classes right from the beginning. So this is just a slide for examples of different programs that we offer that students are to be able to jump right in to the program right from the start. So for example, architecture actually designs a problem on the first day. Aviation majors get to fly in the first semester, which is a little scary, but it's great to see that they get thrown right into it. Education observations are in the first semester. Nutrition, cooking fundamentals, it's also in the first semester. And the cool thing about the nursing labs is that we have sim labs that move and react, or we have people that move and react as if they're real people. And you're able to utilize that lab that first year. And then lastly, TV and radio broadcasts, we have students who operate equipment and run stations that very first year. So we really do try to give you that hands-on experience, being a little bit of a smaller school, having that close connection with your peers and your professors. I think we're able to do that for you guys.
Perfect. So a big part of a student's college experience is the way that they can get involved here on campus. So here at Marywood, we have 100+ clubs and organizations ranging from major-related clubs and organizations to athletics, community service, honor societies, sororities, a ton of different things you can get involved in. I know Lexi, who is one of our ambassadors, is extremely involved. So if you'd like to give a little tidbit on what you are involved in and how that definitely shaped your college experience here at Marywood.
Sure. So starting from day one at Marywood, I pretty much got involved right away. Every semester, our student activities office actually holds what they call an involvement fair. So that's where all the clubs and orgs on campus can kind of come together and everyone can kind of just walk around, get to see the faces of other clubs, get to know more about those clubs, things like that. And we always say within like our student engagement office that students who are involved do tend to be more successful. So we definitely do encourage students being involved on campus. And it is not unlikely to see someone involved in 3 or 4 clubs, involved in 3 or 4 clubs at a time. Like I said, there's something for everyone here with 100+ clubs. Again, there's something for every interest or hobby. And again, everyone is very welcoming on campus, so you'll always have a friendly face at every club and org you go to. But yeah, I mean, I definitely, coming from now senior, that's probably my biggest piece of advice is just get involved from day one and, you know, find something that you like to do outside of just your academics. Because obviously your academics are very important, but you also want to have some kind of like a social like relief aspect of that as well. So that's where getting involved on campus is a really great way to help relieve that.
Perfect. So one thing that Marywood loves to do is offer a ton of fun events, whether it's on campus or off. We do a great job at planning things for students to really be able to get involved, win free prizes, go on events. So definitely Marcy has had a big planning hand in creating those events here on campus. So Marcy, do you want to give us a good idea of what Marywood offers that is fun to do?
Of course. So I first would like to point out that I am in fact on this page, and so is Maddie. That was actually one of the bingos that we helped host. So I worked for the previously known as the student activities crew since I was a freshman up until I graduated as a senior. So a lot of the things that we did that were repeating events were bingo, athletics, game shows. Some of the things that I personally had a hand in bringing to campus were roller rinks. A lot of the times we worked with outside companies to bring experiences on campus, which made being an individual on campus who didn't have a car, I mean, it wasn't so bad because anything that we could get off campus, we could also bring on. A lot of the times we would also take suggestions from the student body because not only are we planning the events for everybody, a lot of the times we use social media to get a gauge on interest. So we really tried to make sure whatever events we did bring to campus were things that would actually be interesting. And another thing was that pretty frequently, probably twice or 3 times a month, we would have off-campus events. So students would be bused to various locations free of charge, and the events would vary between being very strict, like we went to a local haunted house and we went there, everybody's tickets were paid for, and then everybody got on the bus at a certain time. Or we've had more lenient trips like New York City trips where it was a day trip where you were allowed to go and do whatever you wanted, and then we get back on the bus and come back. So there were a lot of really good opportunities for people who didn't necessarily get to experience New York before, or maybe didn't get a chance to go to Philly. And I think that a lot of the times our off-campus events were so popular because there were a lot of things that people always wanted to do but didn't necessarily feel like spending the money on. So on and off-campus events being free were a big plus.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So a big part of choosing what college or university that you want to go to is the surrounding area. Like Marcy said, you are able to bring a car, but a lot of students don't. But there are so many things to do in the surrounding area of Scranton. So Lexi, do you want to touch on those a little bit?
Yeah, so Marywood almost is like the perfect distance between downtown Scranton and also Dixon City, where you can find a lot of more like
Lexi, you're muted.
Of
It's
course.
okay. It's okay.
So sorry. Okay, so as I was saying, Marywood is located almost in the middle of like downtown Scranton, and then we also are on the other side is Dixon City, and in Dixon City you find a lot of like retail stores or even more like chain food restaurants. But then even a little bit past downtown Scranton is where you have Montage Mountain, which is listed here on this slide. Between those 3 areas, there's so many different things that you can choose to do. Obviously, like Marcy said, there are plenty of opportunities right directly on campus for events for students, but it's really a nice area, so it is nice to get off campus and kind of see the local surrounding area. So literally 5-10 minute drive from campus, you can go around and see any like small coffee shops we have. Again, you have those chain restaurants. There are a lot of like cool local areas too you can go to that maybe aren't like retail oriented. So like there's Nayog Park, and Montage Mountain, there's like the ski and water parks there. So you have plenty of options when it comes to off-campus areas to go to as well.
Perfect. And as Marcy touched on before, we do offer a ton of off-campus trips as well. So it's really nice to have like a week full of classes and activities and clubs, and then look forward to these off-campus trips that are totally free. I know as a former student myself, I really took advantage of these because who wouldn't want to go paintballing or whitewater rafting during the weekend? So Marcy, do you want to give us a little bit more information on these?
Of course. So as I kind of touched on before, these events changed pretty much semester to semester. We did have some of those more staple trips that we would do pretty much every year. Like we had a Broadway trip every single year, and a lot of the times it's shows that are more on the popular side. So I'm actually in that one too. We went to see Aladdin. We have also, we saw Waitress when Sarah Bareilles was in it. And we also have trips to New York City that aren't specifically for Broadway, which is a nice opportunity to let people who haven't been to the city experience it for the first time. Amusement parks, we've done Dorney Park. We've also stretched for farther parks. It really depends on the year and who, what students are running it, but a lot of the times we'll mix up the amusement park. So every single year it's different from the last, so it's not the same trip over and over. For fall festivals and hauntings, I know I've also done trips to Reaper's Revenge, which is a local haunted, I guess I'd call it almost like a spook walk. I also help manage a trip to the Eastern State Penitentiary around Halloween. Drive-in movies, we do that pretty frequently. The movies change and they always get student input. And hiking too is another nice thing because we have a lot of nice scenery in the area, and it's also a plus that after a long hike you don't have to drive home, you can just get on the bus. So a lot of the events, like I said, change year to year. We also did a trip to medieval times a few years back, and it really all comes down to the students who are helping plan these events, so they're always open to taking new ideas every single year.
Perfect. So another big component of a student's experience here at Marywood is the study abroad opportunity. So as you'll see here, there are a few majors where study abroad is incorporated into the curriculum. So for example, art and architecture, we have agreements with schools over in Florence, Italy, where we have our students study abroad for a semester, and they love that experience. And through our nutrition program, we actually have a Spanish track that allows our students to study abroad in Costa Rica for 9 weeks. So there are a few different options where that is actually built into your program, but there are also other options for students. For example, you'll have faculty-led trips. So Marcy, I know going off of your experience, you are in a major that's a little bit more strict when it comes to studying abroad for a whole semester. So you took advantage of that, and you took classes such as history and an Irish literature course, which allowed you to study abroad for, I believe it was like a week or so in Ireland as well as Italy. And you really got to see a lot, which is something that our classes offer very frequently, and something that we love our students to take advantage of. We also offer winter break trips as well as summer trips. If you are ever interested in studying abroad, you could always talk to your advisor as well as our study abroad office, and they could definitely work on getting that built into your schedule so that you can plan for the future. Perfect. So we are also a D3 school. So we offer 22 varsity sports, our newest being men's and women's rugby. So if you are ever interested in playing a sport here at Marywood, you could always reach out to our coaches and potentially set up a visit for you to come visit campus and meet players on the team. But being a student athlete at Marywood is a big part of our Marywood community. So if you're interested, definitely reach out to them.
So a little bit about the admissions process and applying to Marywood. We are enrolling in admissions school, so that means you can apply and submit an application at any time. We accept the common application as well as the Marywood application. So if you're not familiar with the common application, it is a free application as well as our Marywood application, but the common app is free, where you're able to submit one application to multiple schools one time rather than submitting, maybe you're applying to 5 schools and submitting 5 different applications 5 different times. So it really does help you apply to multiple schools just one time, and it's a little bit easier for you to manage. If you're not interested in the Common App, like I said, we do offer our Marywood application that is free as well. There is no preference, whichever is better for you. We do ask students to submit a completed application. We have an essay that is on the application that is optional if you choose to write one. We ask for your high school transcript to be sent over from your school counseling office. One letter of recommendation, that can be from a coach, teacher, manager, someone that knows your skill. And then we are test optional this year. As we know, a lot of students are not able to either get access to taking the SAT or ACT. And we would like, obviously, to give students that option to submit them or not. It's really personal preference. If you did get a chance to take them and you're not sure about submitting them, it's really up to you if you'd like to or not. And we will review your application once we do receive all that information. Between 7 to 10 business days, we'll try to give you a decision if you're accepted or not. I'm just gonna go to the next slide. And the great thing too about Marywood is that we do offer merit scholarships. They're based off the credentials that students do submit. So if you are submitting GPA or if you're submitting SATs or not, whatever you are submitting in the application process, we take a look at it and we factor and consider you for a merit scholarship. The merit scholarship is awarded to students for every undergraduate year that they are at Marywood. And it will be sent with your acceptance letter, so you'll know that right away. This year, the ranges are from $16,000 to $23,000 based off of your tuition. So you are able to get up to around $23,000 off your tuition annually, which is really great. We also, for certain other programs, I'm ahead of myself. 75% of incoming freshmen do receive a scholarship worth more than half of their tuition. So just be aware too that we do really try to help you and assist you with giving out merit scholarships along with filing the FAFSA. You are able to file the FAFSA starting October 1st, which that had just passed. So you are able to start filing it now. We just recommend you filing it with Marywood on the list of schools, and then we can generate you a financial aid package with the breakdown of the costs. And your merit will be on there as well. The other scholarships that Marywood does offer is the Maxis Delay, which is a community-based scholarship. It's through our campus ministry office, and pretty much if you are interested in, if you have a lot of community service hours and you're looking to continue your community service at Marywood, you can apply for this scholarship. It's around $2,500 annually. You will have to reapply annually, but I believe they pick around 20 students or so annually or each year. So it's a great opportunity, and that's on our website. We also offer talent awards for arts and music students by submitting your portfolio for art students and then auditioning for music students. Making sure that you're submitting that as soon as possible, so that way we can try and consider you earlier on for this scholarship. This scholarship as well is considered for transfer students, but sometimes I do see students who have an associate's degree coming out of high school, and they do qualify for this PTK scholarship because technically they have credits. So sometimes students I've seen before where they are already part of the Honor Society and they let me know, and we're able to award the students the scholarship. There also are additional scholarships on our Marywood website underneath the financial aid tab. They're not through Marywood, but they are there for you guys to take a look at and see if you may qualify for that as well. I always recommend to students fastweb.com and myscholly.com for additional scholarships outside of Marywood, as we do accept outside scholarships too. So just keep an eye out, and at school, work, anything online, just let us know if you do receive a scholarship, and we can add it to your overall. And then I just wanted to give you some more information about ways that you are able to visit Marywood, whether it be in person or virtually. So we are offering in-person tours and visits currently. We have visits Monday through Friday at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., and 2 p.m. And then select Saturdays on the hour from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And you can, or we do ask you to register right on the Marywood website to make an appointment. And then that way you are able to come with your family, get meet with an admissions counselor, and then get a tour of campus. And then we are also offering virtual opportunities, and we have many virtual opportunities, as even this one being one of them. We're holding personal appointments, so if you'd like to meet virtually with us, we do offer that. Just let us know, as well as it's posted on the website, but if maybe those times don't conflict or do conflict with your schedule, we can also accommodate a meeting virtually. We are also offering admission information nights. There was one in September, one last night actually in October, and then there's going to be one in November, so check our website for the admission nights. Open house, we're offering fall open houses that are virtual, but the great thing about that is that they are going to be held only for a few hours in the morning on a Saturday, where you're able to meet with current students as well as faculty in the department of your interest. And then the rest of the open house is kind of on your own, so you're not sitting at the computer all day long. So it's really a great opportunity to virtually meet with faculty that you're interested in meeting with, and a student panel where you're getting more of a student perspective. And then lastly, we do offer daily Instagram Q&As Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday. And then Tuesdays, we do have Transfer Tuesdays where we're on at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. as well. So a lot of opportunities. Check out our website. If you have any questions for us specifically, all of our information is posted on the Marywood website per each admission counselor as well. But I just wanted to turn it over to see if anyone had any questions or anything that they can think of, either for ourselves or for the students. We're opening it up for questions now.
Perfect. So we do have a few questions. So I'm going to call on our ambassadors again. So we'll start with Lexi. I guess both of you could actually answer this, but what was your deciding factor when choosing Marywood as the university that you wanted to attend?
The closest of Marywood to my home actually was probably a big deciding factor for myself. I was very much like a homebody and I didn't want to move too far away from my family, but I did want to still have that typical college experience of moving out of home and living on campus. So Marywood's only about 40 minutes from my house. So it was really nice my freshman year. I felt really comforted by the fact that if on weekends I wanted to go home, I could. However, my mom always jokes that she didn't see me unless I had to actually leave the residence halls, like for holidays and stuff. So that was just one of the really nice things that I liked about Marywood, was that it was close enough to home. And then the second deciding factor for me really was actually the cost. It was a lot cheaper for me to go to Marywood than a lot of the other schools that I had applied to. So with the cost and closeness to home and just the atmosphere of campus and having my major and everything really just settled it for me.
For me, my main deciding factor was definitely my program. So my program offers an opportunity where you can be admitted into the 5-year program as soon as you're admitted to Marywood itself, which was absolutely amazing. The field that I'm going into is highly competitive, and even the year that I was going in applying for colleges, most of the colleges I applied to made you apply to be in the 5-year program late in your junior year, and I didn't like that because why would I want to devote all this time to a school if they can't guarantee me a spot? And Marywood has an awesome opportunity that they do guarantee you a spot. They set you a certain GPA that you need to uphold, and so long as you uphold it, you have your spot, which was absolutely incredible. And another thing was the campus. So the campus is a very nice size. I like that the longest walk on campus is 7 minutes, which is incredible because a lot of campuses that my friends go to need buses to get around. And the dorms were absolutely gorgeous. I was not a fan of sharing a bathroom with a whole floor, and Marywood pretty much gives you the opportunity to not share a bathroom with more than 3 people at a time. And I loved that. So I think Marywood overall was just the perfect package for me.
Awesome, thank you. So Lexi, what is your favorite Marywood tradition?
My favorite Marywood tradition is the annual tree lighting that they do hold in our liberal arts center. I don't really come from a large city, so to me it's almost like the second to Rockefeller Center tree, which is kind of silly to say, but it's just a really nice event that they do every year, and it is a nice tradition. They bring in this huge tree that fills our rotunda. All the clubs and organizations on campus have the opportunity to make their own ornament to place on the tree. And again, all Marywood students, faculty, staff, and even community members come together to see the tree light up, and it's just a nice tradition. They have hot chocolate and Christmas cookies, and then actually some of our students perform and sing Christmas carols for us there as well. So it's something very nice that I enjoy every year.
Perfect, thank you. So we did get a question about the food options on campus. So Marcy, would you like to answer that?
Yes, so I'll start out with my favorite part about having a food plan on campus. So we have a food place that's in our Learning Commons, also known as our library, that's called the Study Grounds. And it also has a Starbucks. So I'm a big coffee person, so that really was a big perk. Being able to get coffee on my meal plan was probably one of the best things. Another thing is NAS is the main dining hall. It is more of a buffet style, but I absolutely loved it when I was able, I no longer live on campus, but when I did, I was pretty much able to go there every night and find something. I was actually vegan for a year and a half, and I was still able to find food. The people were very accommodating to everything. It got to the point where I knew the people so well that they'd have a meal prepped for me by the time I got there, which was awesome. So another thing too is, even for my friends who weren't vegan, the food cycles out very, it's, oh, I forgot, I lost my sentence, it's fine. So in NAS, the way that they format things is that when you see, let's say they have Chinese food for one night, you're not going to be seeing that set up for, I believe it's another 28 days. So it's essentially a month where you're not going to have to worry about having the same food over and over, but they do have some good staple stations. So they have pizza, salad, sandwich. So I was pretty much able to find something for any meal of the day that I wanted. And they also have incredible brunch. So those are my top tier foods.
Perfect. And then we are just going to wrap it up. Both of you can answer this question. What is your favorite Marywood memory?
My favorite Marywood memory is actually meeting my freshman roommate at our freshman orientation. She's actually still my roommate now, 4 years later. But it was kind of just I was so nervous going into it. And it was like the first impression I had just meeting her. And we really just hit it off, and we've been best friends and kind of inseparable since. So I'm eternally grateful for that. But I mean, that's the same situation, so many other like Marywood things that have happened too, where like different like events and things like that, where I've gotten to meet the people who I call my best friends today. And so I'm grateful for that.
My favorite memory is definitely getting the opportunity to join so many clubs and be so involved on campus, even with a very hard major. I think that really working for the student activities crew made my entire college career for me. Like, I made so many friends, and I got to the point where I felt like I didn't know everybody on campus, but I kind of felt like it. I'd go anywhere and I'd be able to say hi, and everybody was always so friendly. And I would also say too, when I joined my sorority, I was able to hold 2 chair positions, which was nice. And I was able to pretty much create this gorgeous recruitment as well as a gorgeous formal for my girls. And I loved having the opportunity to do that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So definitely make sure to follow us on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Like Nicolette said earlier, we are doing the Instagram Q&As. So if you have any questions that you didn't get answered today, you can always log on for those. Yeah, and thank you guys for joining us. If you have any questions, you could always reach out, and we will hope to hear from you soon. Have a great night.
Thank you for joining Marywood University. Recording will be available at PACAC. Thank you. Good job. Your format was wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. We were stressed. Well, I was stressed.
Great. Okay. I don't want this to be recorded.